What's up, guys?
So,
I wanted to do a video on Mars One,
yeah.
which is the privately owned non-profit organization from the Netherlands that's trying to set up the first colony on Mars. First, they're going to do an unmanned mission about in 2020, somewhere around in there. Then they're going to do a manned mission about 2026. And then from there, every 26 months, which is 2 years and 2 months, from that point, they're going to start sending the extra crews. They took a bunch of applications for this, and a lot of people applied because, everybody wants to be the first to do something crazy and go down in history for it.
Mars.
So they have some requirements for it, which are they want people with very little connection to the Earth, like family and all that, so you don't get like homesick. You also have to be smart so that you can do your job properly even when shit's hitting the fan. And you have to be mentally stable, so you can't be like bipolar, you'll flip shit and possibly kill people. You also can't have a criminal past, especially like assault and crimes like that, because they can't have you running around committing crimes against your, fellow astronauts. And you must be healthy, so even if you don't have a criminal past and you're mentally stable and you're smart as hell, if you're a fat ass, they can't send you up there. You have to be healthy enough to make the trip. They intend to select 24 people, and then they'll break that 24 people into 6 teams of 4 people. You need to be a team player as well, because they can't have people fighting over who has the biggest dick. But before they send the people there, they're going to send a rover. The rover is going to find a good spot. It needs to be far enough north where there's enough water in the soil, but far enough south where it's not freeze your balls off cold, and it needs to be on a flat surface so that you can actually build on it. Once it finds the spot, it tells them that, hey, I got a spot here. They're going to send satellites as well. One's going to be orbiting Earth and basically trailing behind Earth as it orbits. One's going to be orbiting Mars so that they can set up a 24/7 comm link to Mars so that once we send people there, we can talk to them. And it won't take like 3 months to get the reply. But yeah, once all that's set up, they're going to start sending cargo missions, which is going to send altogether a second rover, 2 living units, 2 life support units, and a supply unit. They use the rover beacons to know where everything's at so that the rover can go and actually pick it up and bring it to the outpost, because it's going to be landing 10 kilometers off from the actual outpost. But yeah, the rovers are going to be setting everything up, so you're going to have some programming going on that's got to be perfect, because if they screw up, then the whole colony's fucked, and then possibly the astronauts who are going there. But once they get everything set up and everything's good, they get the green light to actually start sending the crews. They're gonna send the crews, like, first they're gonna build the ship off of a space station, and basically they're gonna send up individual parts, and build it up there, so that they can cut down on fuel costs, because it costs a lot more to build it on Earth and try to get enough fuel to it to actually get through the atmosphere. So if they get it up there, build it up there, and then send it off, it takes a lot less fuel, because you don't have to get the energy required to get through the atmosphere. Once the transport vehicle is made, they will send the first crew up to the space station, which will then switch places with the building crew. The building crew will go back to Earth, and the first crew will then hop aboard that transit vehicle and fly that son of a bitch to Mars. Once they start once they launch, they'll send the second crew's supplies along with them, like behind them basically. When the first crew gets within 24 hours of Mars, they will start moving into the landing module, and they'll bring all their supplies and everything into the landing module. And then they detach from the transit vehicle, and the landing module will begin its descent. The transit vehicle will just keep on orbiting around Mars. The lander itself is a tried and tested module. It has made 8 previous missions that were unmanned, and it, didn't have any issues on those 8 missions. This one will be manned, so they expect it to be more likely for it to make the descent. Once they get to the ground, they will have a 48-hour period where they're just going to be getting used to gravity, because they've been in space for 9 whole months. So yeah, they're not used to gravity anymore, so they need the time to actually get used to it. The rover will actually meet them at the module and, pick them up and bring them to the colony, and then the colony goes from there. One of the big issues, though, of traveling all the way to Mars is the fact that you don't have an atmosphere to protect you. Here on Earth, we have an atmosphere to protect us, and despite that, the average millirems that we are exposed to per year is 360. 60 of that's from medical, such as x-rays and all that, and then 300 is naturally from the sun and soil. But you're exposed to a lot more when you're in outer space, because we don't have the atmosphere protecting us, so you need to wear certain clothing and all that, which is normally heavy. So they have issues with sending that, so they've got to try to figure out some way of actually keeping the astronauts healthy so they don't get radiation sickness on their way there. To give you an idea of radiation sickness, astronauts, they use a device called a tissue equivalent proportional counter, which is used in the space station. They normally have 2, one that they manually carry around to scan, and one that's actually within the room that will constantly scan as well. So they always have 2 different things reading the REM in the area. But exposure at a rapid rate greater than 100 millirems may cause radiation sickness. It will act like a flu. It causes nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. If you go higher than that, to 300 rems, you can cause permanent damage to your immune system. If you go higher than that, 50% of people would die at greater than 400 rems if you go without medical treatment for 60 days. They'll just die. Now, REM is the radiation that you're exposed to. RADS, which is probably what most people are more familiar with from the Fallout series and all that, but RADS is the radiation that you're actually absorbing into your body. I have 3 things written down and the amount of REMs that you get. Natural gas, you get 9 REMs per year. Radionucleotides in your body, such as potassium, give you 39 millirems per year. And if you live near a nuclear power plant that's operating at normal operation, you will get 0.6 millirems per year. And the reason for that is because they have a lot of safety procedures that go along with nuclear power plants. So, yeah. But if you want to hear more, comment, ask, and I shall allow you to receive. If you want to hear something else, go ahead and ask. I like scientific-y stuff. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. And, I'll see you guys.